Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be making a delicious quinches recipe, or some of you may know it as sweet cassava bread. Remember, for all the ingredients and measurements, it will be listed down below in the description box. Now here is what you will need. Now here is what you need. I have some sugar, whole milk, baking powder, food coloring, and here I have some mixed essence. In this little container I have some salt, ginger powder, nutmeg, and a piece of orange peel. I'm also going to be using some frozen coconut. You can use the fresh one if you have access to it, but today I'll be using some frozen coconut. It's a 14-ounce package. And here I have my cassava. I'm going to show you how I prepare this in a minute. Now here's a look at my cassava. Today I'll be using some frozen cassava. What I basically did is allow it to defrost and wash it. Then I remove that root, or that little stem that runs straight down from the middle of the cassava. And now to my blender, I'm going to start chopping my cassava into small pieces and add it to my blender. Now after the cassava is added to the blender, you're going to go in with a little bit of water just to help the blender. You're then going to blend the cassava until you have a nice smooth consistency. Now after the cassava is finished blending, this is how it should be looking. Let me pick some up and show you the consistency. You should have a smooth consistency here. Now I'm going to be using this little white mesh bag that I have here. I have this bag for such a long time that I don't even remember where I got it from. So you can basically use a cheesecloth, a tea towel, or a hand towel, anything you can use to just extract the liquid out of the cassava. Now after I add the cassava to the bag, I'm going to just close the bag up and we're going to start wringing it to make sure that we get all the liquid out. We want to get as much as we can get out. Now after I finish wringing mine out, this is how much liquid I got out. Now what we're going to do is remove it from the bag, and we're going to work it with our fingers and break it up until it resembles something like breadcrumbs. Now after you're done, this is how it should be looking. Nice and loose. Now to that, I'm going to go in with my baking powder. After adding the baking powder, I'm going to go in with my spatula and mix to make sure that the baking powder is evenly distributed. Once that is nicely distributed, we are going to place that on the side and we're going to head over to the stove. Now to my non-stick pan, my stove is on medium-high heat, and I'm going to go in with my coconut, followed by all of my spices I have here, followed by my sugar, my food coloring, and my essence. I'm then going to mix to make sure everything is nicely combined, and I'm going to also make sure I have the color that I'm looking for. Now after achieving the color I am looking for, I'm going to go in with my milk. Now I'm going to allow this to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the liquid evaporates. Now after the liquid has evaporated, this is how it should be looking. You're now going to turn your stove off and allow this to cool down before we proceed to the next step. Now today I'll be using a cookie tray that I'll be lining with a piece of parchment paper. Now I'm going to spray some cooking spray on the bottom of the paper, and we're going to place that face down to the pan, which will prevent the paper from moving while we are assembling our quinches. Now to shape my quinches, I'm going to use these molding ring I got off of Amazon, which I will leave the link down below if you would like to purchase it. Now the next thing you want to do is place the molding ring on top of your baking pan, and we're going to go ahead and add some of our cassava to the ring. You want to make sure and add equal amount so that all the quinches are going to be the same size. That way, while it's baking, you know they are all done and evenly cooked at the same time. Now, after adding the first layer of cassava, you want to go in with your fingers and try to smooth it so that it's nice and level. Then you're going to go in with the ring molding cover, and we're just going to press to make sure it's nice and compact. Now, after you're done with the first layer of cassava, we're going to go in with some of our coconut filling. You're going to place it on top of the cassava and spread it out evenly on the top. Now, after the coconut is evenly spread out, this is how it should be looking. You will also notice that I did not spread the coconut too close to the edge of the molding. I just like to leave that little space there so when I add the next layer of cassava, it will secure the coconut in the middle and avoid it from oozing out on the sides. Now go ahead and add the top layer of cassava, and let's finish up with this one. Now after adding the top layer, you're going to go in with the molding cover and you're going to press to make sure it's nice and compact. Now to remove the molding, you're just going to press the top of the cover on it and slide the ring with your fingers, as you see me doing here. Once the ring is out, you just have to remove the cover, and that's it. You're going to continue doing this until you finish with all of your quinches. Now after assembling my quinches, this is how they are looking. Now I'm going to place this in the oven. My oven is preheated to 375 degrees. We're then going to allow it to bake for about 8 minutes. You want to bake it for 4 minutes on one side and flip it to the other side and bake it for an extra 4 minutes. Now after 8 minutes of baking, this is how they should be looking. Now I'm going to place this in my serving container so that I can get a nice thumbnail. Then I'll break into one and show you guys how it's looking on the inside. Now after cutting into one of our quinches, this is how it's looking on the inside. Absolutely delicious. Now that brings us to the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoy making it for you all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more delicious recipe. As usual, I want to say thank you for watching, goodbye, and I will see you in my next video.